I've always maintained this viewpoint. It's the caliber of exclusive titles that truly drives console sales. This is precisely why PlayStation 5 is leading the pack. Month after month, I bring you updates showcasing PlayStation's triumphs in the gaming market. Having said that, let's jump straight into the news. The PlayStation 5 is outpacing its Xbox competitors in sales, even as it trails behind its immediate predecessor. Sony's latest console had something of a slow start when it first launched in 2020, thanks in no small part to supply shortages brought on by the COVID pandemic. Once these shortages finally ended, sales for the current-gen PlayStation console picked up at a steady pace, with recent reports revealing that 2023 has been the most profitable year for the PS5 so far. In addition to the console itself being more readily available in comparison to the past couple of years, the PlayStation 5's strong sales figures have been bolstered by a strong slate of first-party games like God of War Ragnarok and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. The upcoming launch of Marvel Spider-Man 2 could lead to even more PS5 sales in the final quarter of the year, but the console has already crossed some major milestones in the meantime. Are you still doubting the rumors about the PlayStation 5 Pro? Well, the latest whispers in the gaming world might just change your mind. Codenamed Trinity, Sony's PS5 Pro is set to be a game-changer, boasting a revamped GPU and higher memory capacity. The rumored specs are impressive. 8 Zen 4 cores clocked up to 4.2 GHz, 72 RDNA, 3 compute units clocked up to 2.5 GHz, and 20 GB of GDDR6X unified memory. Not to mention a 1.65 TB PCIe Gen 4 SSD. What does this mean in layman's terms? We're talking about more than double the raw GPU power at 23 teraflops, plus a larger and faster memory pool. To put things in perspective, the current PS5 has 8 Zen 2 cores and 36 RDNA 2 compute units, delivering 10.28 teraflops. So the PS5 Pro, or Trinity as it's being called, is set to be a significant upgrade. The rumor mill also suggests that game developers will start receiving Trinity development kits in November 2023, with the console hitting the shelves in November 2024. The price tag, a cool $599 per £549, which, considering the significant boost in performance, seems like a steal. Now I know what you're thinking, this sounds too good to be true. But remember, Sony pulled off a similar feat with the PS4 Pro, which had more than double the GPU horsepower of the original PS4. Alright folks, let's take a breather and unpack this. 23 teraflops, that's an insane leap, doubling the performance of the PS5. Now, I know the community is split on this. Some of you are thrilled while others feel it's unnecessary, arguing that we haven't even maxed out the PS5's potential yet. To those skeptics I say, come on guys. I've already made a video explaining precisely why a PS5 Pro is needed, with clear examples of games that, if you want to run them at full native 4K with maximum ray tracing, you're only going to get 30 FPS. I won't rehash all of that here, but it's worth repeating that some points deserve revisiting. Now let's shift gears to something genuinely exciting. Remember when I said we needed a bigger SSD? Well, the PS5 Pro is set to come with a whopping 1.65 terabytes. That's almost double the base PS5's capacity. And let's not forget the 20 gigabytes of RAM, all of this for just $599 USD. That's a pretty sweet deal. However, there's one thing that I find a bit silly. Sony is likely to advertise that you can play games in 8K. In my opinion, that's a total waste of GPU and CPU power. We don't need 8K and we probably never will. Stick to 4K, increase the fidelity, ramp up the polygons, and deliver those Unreal Engine 5 games you promised us. One more thing I'd like to touch on is pop-ins. You know what I'm talking about when you're driving, running, or flying on your Dragon and objects, trees, and textures start to pop in or textures don't load. Yes, we still have these issues. With the PS5 Pro, Sony should skip the 8K race. Keep it at 4K or even 1440p. Give us 4K ray-traced reflections and shadows. Eliminate all pop-ins, give us 60 FPS, and we're golden. We don't need 120 FPS or 8K. Let's keep the focus on 60 FPS, 4K, and fidelity. Wow, listening back to this, it does sound like I'm rambling and repeating myself quite a bit. But you know what? I'm leaving this in. Yes, I've reiterated my points a million times. Maybe now you'll stop asking me questions in the comments about what I want from the PS5 Pro. Well, I've just spelled it out a million times. So tell me, Ubermenschmania, is that enough personality for you? Let's delve into the recent controversy surrounding Ubisoft. The gaming giant has been facing backlash over a policy that was initially misunderstood by many in the gaming community. The uproar began when a Reddit user shared a screenshot of an email from Ubisoft, stating that their account was at risk of deletion due to inactivity. The email suggested that all purchased games and content would be lost as a result. This caused quite a stir, as many interpreted this to mean that Ubisoft was planning to delete accounts and revoke access to purchase content after just 6 months of inactivity. the gaming community was quick to criticize Ubisoft for what was perceived as an anti-consumer policy. However, Ubisoft later clarified that the email was misleading and the policy was not as harsh as it initially seemed. The policy, according to Ubisoft, only applies to accounts that have been inactive for more than 2 years, not 6 months. Furthermore, it's primarily aimed at accounts that have never made a purchase. Accounts that have made purchases are not deleted, but they may be deactivated and can be reactivated by contacting Ubisoft's customer support. Despite Ubisoft's clarification, the incident has left a negative impression on many gamers. Critics argue that even with these clarifications, the policy is still problematic as it penalizes users for not using their accounts regularly and potentially puts their purchases at risk. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think Ubisoft's policy is fair, or does it need further revision? Let's discuss in the comments below. Alright folks, enough with the banter. Let's shift gears and dive into the exciting world of the Spider-Man 2 PS5 bundle. This bundle includes a uniquely designed console and a matching DualSense controller that are nothing short of spectacular. The console's interchangeable plates are a marvel to behold. One side features a sleek matte black panel, while the other side showcases a striking red background, adorned with symbiote tendrils slowly overtaking Insomniac's white Spider-Man logo. It's a design that tells a story, a visual representation of the struggle and conflict we're set to experience in the upcoming game. The DualSense controller mirrors this dramatic theme. Spider-Man's white insignia sits at the center, with the design transitioning from a mostly black left side to a right side splattered in red and overtaken by those sinister symbiote tentacles. The controller's face buttons now sport an all-white scheme, providing a pleasing contrast. Jacinda Chu, senior art director of Insomniac Games, explains that the design was inspired by the in-game symbiote that seems to be taking over the console and controller. The underlying red beneath the tendrils represents the constant struggle for dominance that players will experience in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. For those who already own a PS5 console, the limited edition Marvel Spider-Man 2 console covers and DualSense wireless controller will be sold separately. Those who purchase the full bundle will receive a game voucher, which can be redeemed when Marvel's Spider-Man 2 releases on October 20th. Alright, I've got to give it to Sony and Insomniac on this one. The fact that they're letting us buy the plates and the DualSense controller separately is a solid move. It's a pro-consumer decision that really hits the mark. Pre-orders for this limited edition design begin on July 28th. It will be available directly from PlayStation or at select retailers in the US, UK, France, Germany, Belgium, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Italy, Spain, Austria, and Portugal. So if you're a Spider-Man fan, this is one bundle you won't want to miss. Alrighty guys, before we wrap up, I've got some questions for you. What are your thoughts on the upcoming PS5 Pro? Are you excited about the Spider-Man 2 PS5 bundle? And what do you think about the ability to buy the plates and DualSense controllers separately? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And hey, if you're not part of our community yet, now's the perfect time to join us. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. Who knows, you might even get a shout out in my next video. As always, I'm Ashley and I'll catch you in the next one.